డిజిటల్ మార్కెటింగ్ రంగంలో కేవలం 90 రోజుల శిక్షణతో పాటు ఉద్యోగ అవకాశం పొందండి.
ప్రజెంట్ నాతో పాటు వీర సింహ రెడ్డితో స్టెప్పులు వేసిన ఇంకొక వీర సింహం లేడీ సింహం ఉంది.
Lady Simha, I like that.
మా భావ మనోభావాలు దెబ్బతింటున్నాయంటూ మా అందరికి మనోభావాలు దెబ్బతినేలా స్టెప్స్ వేశారు మీ ఇద్దరు. Chandrika, you know Balakrishna sir's age?
Yeah.
But on screen, you know that his haze
Comes with this like godlike presence. Seeing sir in Jai Balaya.
Jai Balaya, Jai Balaya, Jai Jai Balaya, Jai Balaya.
Obviously like a worshipping song.
హాయ్ హలో వెల్కమ్ టు సుమన్ టీవీ. నేను మీరోషన్. ప్రజెంట్ నాతో పాటు వీర సింహ రెడ్డితో స్టెప్పులు వేసిన ఇంకొక వీర సింహం లేడీ సింహం ఉంది. మాట్లాడేద్దాం. హాయ్ చంద్రిక రవి.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Lady
super.
Simha, I like that.
Yes. ఓ తెలుగు వచ్చా?
Small. I'm learning fast, but
Okay.
I know a little bit. I can understand.
చంద్రిక రవి, ఫస్ట్ నేను విన్నది ఏంటంటే మీ గురించి యువర్ మదర్ ఫ్రమ్
My mother is Tamil. My father is Malayali. But both born in Singapore.
బట్ యూ కేమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఆస్ట్రేలియా.
And I was born in Australia.
హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్?
I literally call myself a global citizen. I was born in Australia. My parents are Singaporean, but Tamil Malayali, and I live in LA.
Okay.
But I work in India. So I'm literally, I make sure I put a dot in every part of the world.
ఓకే. And then you know all the languages, I think. Tamil, mother tongue.
Tamil, Malayalam,
father
Hindi.
tongue.
Hindi.
Malayali.
And now I'm learning Telugu.
Okay.
So I plan to learn as much as I can.
సో నిజంగా మా భావ మనోభావాలు దెబ్బతింటున్నాయంటూ మా అందరికి మనోభావాలు దెబ్బతినేలా స్టెప్స్ వేశారు మీ ఇద్దరు.
The steps were at
Do you
first.
know meaning of the మనోభావాలు?
Yeah.
Tell me.
When I learnt it, I asked them what is the. I didn't ask for the exact translation because
Yeah.
I wanted to also, doing something that you don't know, like a language you don't know. I've never done that.
Okay.
I mean, I've done one Telugu song, and I found it very hard to remember what it meant, put it in my face,
Okay.
say the words, and also do the steps at the same time. And this time, doing it on this level with like Shekhar sir watching me, saying, "No, that's the wrong step. Do it properly." So. I remember just keeping to tell myself, my lover. I just kept saying, my lover. Everything I was like, my lover.
Who is your lover? NBK sir? Nandamuri Balakrishna?
I'm telling sir about my lover. I'm telling him about my lover, and he's telling me, like about what to do with him and everything. So you'll actually see in the song, there's like some parts where NBK sir and I like dancing together, and he's telling me like how to address, poor guy, this, that, the other. I'm talking about my friend from Doha. I don't want to wear churidars, this, that, the other.
But Chandrika, you know Balakrishna sir's age?
Yeah.
But on screen, you know that his haze?
On screen, you can never tell. I mean, honestly, in life, you can't, even in real life, you can't tell his age, nothing. He comes with this like godlike presence. Not only do obviously everyone runs towards him, but he just naturally has that. It's like a floating, when you see like rishis and all that, they just like have that floating type of like presence. I really thought that about sir, and he didn't make me feel like he was this big artist and I was this junior artist. We spent a lot of time away from the camera. He would always come and sit next to me, tell me stories. One day he brought his iPad and he was showing me his old videos of his movies, his father's films. He was showing me newspapers. He was showing me about his institutions.
Oh, he will show you
He showed me,
his father films also.
Everything. He showed me everything, and I told sir, I've watched these films with my father. My father loves your father's films. But that experience in itself, it was so humbling because coming from a different country, I know I'm very lucky to be even in Indian cinema, but to be doing this song in this film. But he didn't make that a thing. He didn't make me feel like that. He made it. Everything was just like the whole thing was like a dream. It was like a movie in itself for myself, for my experience. Those memories with sir, not just on the camera but away from camera, things I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
But from day one నుంచి till today, ఏ హీరోయిన్ కూడా బాలకృష్ణ గారి డాన్సింగ్ లెవెల్స్ అంతా వేరే ఉంటాయి, ఎనర్జీ లెవెల్స్ కూడా, అండ్ నో వన్ కెన్ మేనేజ్.
I've been told this.
While working with him, how did you manage?
I think because I'm a dancer. You know, I started dancing at the age of 3. I started acting at the age of 3 and modeling and everything. So it is all I've ever done. It's, you know, I didn't just fall into it from doing Miss World or something. That came along with it, but it is all I've ever done. So I've always known that I have to be 110% in everything. And walking in, seeing the dancers, their 100% is like my 200%. I have to do even more to match them. And then to also have this presence like Balaya sir next to me, you know, knowing that I can't even for a second slip because he's performing at a level at his age where I need to match sir. You know, it literally, like watching sir, I was like, there's no way, like there's no way you're that age. There's just no way.
So after seeing his energy level, what is your feeling?
It actually, it spreads when you're around that and you're seeing.
Your express feeling with him?
I told sir, I said,
Oh.
your energy is transferring onto me because obviously I had a lot of dancing compared to sir. I was dancing with the boys, I was dancing with the girls, whatever. But if I'm dancing next to sir, even if I was tired, I wasn't feeling that. I was feeling the energy that sir had. You know, he just doesn't, it's like he doesn't get tired at all.
And then he didn't take much takes also.
No,
Max he will take 1 or 2 takes only.
Literally.
Oh.
I think my takes, I think the most I maybe did were like 3, 4, maybe 5 max. You know, my back was hurting, whatever, something would happen. Or I was saying that, a lot of the times it was a lyric thing. I was having to remember lyrics that I didn't understand. That's a very big thing for me, and that's why I really want to learn the Telugu language properly, because I don't want to be just another actress that came and did something that she doesn't understand. I want to really know what I'm speaking about. It's also respect for the culture. You know, I did South films because I'm a South Indian. I could have easily gone to the North or, you know, taken those offers, but I wanted to do what was true to me. So there were times that I had to take a couple of more takes, but sir would be like, okay, done. I was like, oh my God, did I do it? And I'd be like, did I do 100% in this take? Because sir just did it in one take. I have to make sure I did it great in that one take.
And before you're coming to Telugu industry, and what you know about Balakrishna garu, what do you want to know, and what you heard about especially Balakrishna garu?
I mean, people like Balaya sir, when you hear about them in like a God level. And actually, when I came to Hyderabad the first time, I think it was like 12 or 13, I didn't remember. Now I know who it was, but we drove past and there were giant posters of sir. And the person that was driving us around had told us, this is, you know, Balaya sir, this, that,
Really?
the other. Yeah. And when I booked this film, it was funny. So my friends back home had actually said, Chandrika, do you not remember? Like, we actually saw, and I was like, you know what is so crazy? When you hear about people like Balaya
And you are not
sir,
watching any of his movies
I mean,
also.
I'd watched it at that age, but at that age, you're not thinking, you know. And at that age, I'd always said I wanted to do Indian films, but you don't think it's a possibility. No one thinks this is a possibility, you know, being an actress or whatever the situation is, being from a different country and whatnot. You hear about people like sir on like a God level. That's literally what you hear about them. So to meet him, dance with him, act with him, be in a film with Maitri movie makers like this level, Gopi Chandra and everything, it's like, for me, I realized that it is achievable. You can get it. You manifest it, it can happen, you know. And I've been telling everyone this. I'm a firm believer that if you do good, you get good. And
Okay.
I've done some good in my life to have this opportunity to perform with someone who is like worshipped, you know. And the first day, the day I finished set and I left, I remember the airport, people had recognized me from the articles that had come out that week, and they were saying Jay Balaya. And for me, that was them respecting me. It was an appreciation. You appreciated that I had to be of some level of artist to be able to do this, you know. It's not going to just be given to anyone. So that was like a very, it was a very humbling and driving experience, because now I know, oh, you're recognized for your work because you have performed with someone on this level. You know, not anyone can do it.
So we know very well on screen his energy levels is completely different, but off screen how he will be with others like co-stars.
He's very santam. Drink his coffee and we'd talk, and he'd ask me about LA and my family. We talked about Chennai a lot. It literally felt like I was talking to like an elder in my family. You know, Balaya sir is actually my father's age, and so whenever I speak to older people, I always like to hear the wisdom. I would like to hear what they're talking about, you know, what their experiences are. But to hear sir's experiences in the industry, what he was doing, you know, with his institute, the Cancer Institute and all these things, I got to learn from sir that he's not just this god, he's using his power, he uses it for good, and that's incredible. Like that's the type of artist I aspire to be.
ఒక్కటి ఏదైనా లైఫ్లో మెమరబుల్ మూమెంట్ ఆయన దగ్గర నుంచి డిడ్ యూ లెర్న్ సంథింగ్ అంటే ఏమని చెప్తారు?
I mean, that in itself, just hearing Sir talk about what he was doing.
అబౌట్ లైఫ్ అంటే
Yeah, you know, to know that you have power, that's something that my parents instilled in me from a young age. I've always had, you know, fans and followers and things like that. But what you do with it is very important. You can just be a pretty face or do 100 films or whatever, and then that's it. There's a lot of people that don't use their voices. There's so many things that need to be fought for, especially for women in our culture. And hearing from Sir what he was doing and continues to work, but continues to do good, that to me is like a lifelong wisdom that I was instilled from my parents. Now I can see, okay, this is what you want to do. This is the example that Sir has led by example, and now I want to do the same thing.
தமிழ்లో பேசுவாరా இல்லை இங்கிலீஷில் பேசுவாரா?
We spoke in both Tamil and English. Yeah, both.
சரி, இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து நிறைய கெட்டப்ஸ் பின்னாடி எல்லாம் இருக்குங்க.
Yeah.
உங்களுக்கு என்ன கெட்டப் நல்லா பிடிச்சிட்டு இருக்க?
My song,
you
of
like
course.
more?
Of course, my song. Of course, my song. You know, seeing Sir in Jai Balaya, that was obviously like a worshipping song, like for him. But then to see Sir in my song, you know, with that gold and black, and like he looks so regal, and I loved it. Especially that scene where he's surrounded by everyone and he turns his head and he looks up and he's on the chair going round and round. Like you can tell the presence that someone has, and the look, the glasses, everything was mass. It was great.
బట్ బాలయ్య బాబు గారితో వర్క్ చేయకముందు అన్స్టాపబుల్ షో చూసారా? డూ యూ వాచ్? No.
The last film of Sir's that I watched was Akanda. So I need to watch the show. A lot of people are tagging me in the shows, like in the things. And so that's also my way of learning the language, because watching a film, I learn from subtitles. This way, it's like you learn the word and then you try and have to piece it together yourself. It's hard, but I was just telling my parents that I need a Telugu tutor, so that way I can actually watch his show and like understand what is being said properly.
Did you see any language barrier here, Chandrika?
No. I mean, the language barrier was me making sure that I was doing it right. I wanted to make sure my pronunciation was right. And thank God, you know, Shekhar Master Sir's assistants, they were also very on it. They made sure that, you know, I was saying it right. I want to do it 110%. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. That was only language barrier. Everyone made me feel very at home, knowing that I didn't really speak the language. They made sure, like my costume manna he spoke Tamil, so he made sure he was around to like tell them, okay, she wants this or she needs this or whatever the situation is. Everyone made me feel really comfortable and at home.
And this time there is so many mutual connections is there at Veera Simha Reddy. Same home banner, Maitri movie,
Yes.
makers Veera Simha Reddy, and one more movie.
The new one coming out, same day.
Tell me the movie name.
And I know the song also in it, Boss Party. What is the name
Where
of
is
it?
the part?
Yeah. I think it was Walt or something. Sorry, I'm a bit jet lagged, so it just came this morning.
తెలుసా చిరంజీవి గారు?
Yes,
Do you know?
of course.
Huh?
Of course. I mean, even that song, Sir dancing with someone who's also a dancer, Urvashi, you know, it's very rare that you see actors of that caliber being able to really do everything.
Which movie is gonna be biggest blockbuster on the...
Ours, of course. I have to be biased to my own film. I have to be biased.
Super.
I have to be. It'll be a problem if I say someone else's film. I have to say my film. Definitely.
On screen, Balaya Babu, we know very well. But off screen, Balaya Babu, what do you want to say about him, especially on personal?
He's such a humble human being. He's such a humble, pure human being. You know, even on the last day, everyone had said to me when Sir finished before me, and I was still obviously working, and he walked all the way to me, came and said hi, gave me a hug and left. And everyone said to me, he respects you as a person. And I knew in that moment that Sir actually, he didn't have to do all that. I'm some junior artist that came from LA, you know, just doing some song and dance. But he there's no like, he doesn't act like this person. That presence comes naturally from him.
So, తెలుగులో ఎవరితో యాక్ట్ చేయాలని డ్రీమ్ మీకు?
All of them.
All of them, okay.
All of them. I plan to act with all of them. You know, I think also just being a South Indian girl, doing item songs, it's not the only thing I want to do, but I also know there's not a lot of girls that can do what I do. So I want to do I want to act with all of them. I want to.
You don't have any dream working with him like that, Pawan
100%.
Kalyan,
I would love to do a film with Sir. You know, I've played a ghost. I've played a villain. I've played now an item girl. I've done many different roles. I've also had the experience in training and stuff. So if the next song I do with Sir is the same vibe, also great. If not, if it's a different vibe, also great. I think that especially in Telugu cinema, it's having such a moment internationally now where, you know, my friends in LA know about RRR being nominated and things like that. So to do anything in the Telugu screen space for me is, I'm so grateful and I hope to
But
continue.
Tamil lo, I think you did a fantastic movie.
Thank you.
But
I mean,
here again, why you accepting like item song means
because it
what do you
goes
want?
beyond, you know, like interviews
Is
that
there any reason?
Yeah, because for me it's an empowerment thing. It's just because I'm doing an item song doesn't make me any less of an artist. You know, I think there's this taboo or stigma that girls think that if you're beautiful you have to only do a heroine. Every role in a film has a purpose. Whether you're standing in the background holding a bucket or you're in an item song or whatever. Like this song, every interview that Ravi sir has done or Gopichand sir has done, they've said no one could do what she did. She was literally fit for this role because playing an item song, you know, even Samantha ma'am has said it, playing sexy was the hardest role she's ever played. It's not very easy to play because there's a line. You cross that line, it becomes vulgar. You don't do it properly, it looks fake. It doesn't look, Maa Bava, it's like you're just saying something. I know that I bring something with my Western influence. That I know how sexuality can be shown. I know how women can be shown. I can dress like this. I can wear a patti sari tomorrow and be the same person. It doesn't make me any less of a human being. It doesn't make me any less of an artist either. And I think also people tend to, I say this a lot in interviews, people tend to forget that the movies I do are not, it's not up to someone else, it's me. I'm choosing what I want to do. I'm getting roles. I'm choosing how I want to be portrayed. And in the West, I'm portrayed as an Indian sex symbol. So I have to keep up with that. I have to play those roles that are going to give me this notoriety. That's how I got it in Tamil cinema, because I played a role where I was a ghost in half of the film and then I was also the hot girl. So I think it's a stigma. You know, we don't say this about American artists when they do, you know, bombshell roles, or she only plays bombshell roles. You don't say that. You know, why is it in our cinema only we have this stigma against it? So I want to show that it's okay. It doesn't make me any less of a person. I've got acting
And
training.
before days it will be there, but nowadays they will do all the.
Nowadays it's very different, but I think also for South Indian women it's limited, with very limited, you know. We're not really given the roles of item songs in North. You know, the North girls are coming here and doing our roles. So
The Samantha madam also recently.
she's the first one. The first, that's why she said I've played every, you know, she wrote it in the caption, I've played so many roles, but playing sexy is the hardest thing. And so for me, I don't see it as like I'm doing it for myself at the end of the day. You know, I know I have a fan base. I have a fan base that likes me for this way, but they also know I've trained in things. If you want me to play a crying village girl, I can do that also. I've trained it. I've done the work for it. So I think the stigma has to go, for sure.
Super. Can you sing 2 lines for audience?
I've trained in Carnatic music, but I don't sing. I cannot sing. I'm the triple
I'm
threat.
not asking Carnatic
I
song.
can't
I'm
sing.
asking only your song only
No,
now.
cannot.
Huh?
There's an incredible singer who sung it. Let her sing it. I don't want to ruin it. She has done incredibly.
Last and finally, what do you want to say about Gopichandi Malini?
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sir. You know, Sir has had, since the moment we first met, he's had a confidence in me that I could bring something. And he sees what I want to do. He sees that it's not just about being an item girl or whatever. What I do here resonates in the West. You know, it's also about showing to the West that South Indian girls also can be sex symbols. We can, you know, do all these things. And Sir understands what I want to do. And that's very important for me, that a director knows what I want to do, because then he's going to portray me in the right light. He's going to show me in the right light. And he's given me a lot of guidance, a lot of support. So really, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Sir. This is literally all thanks to Sir.
Super. Chandrika, with your permission, can I do 2 steps with
Of course, of
Sue,
course.
thank you.
Of course. I'm assuming the main step is what you want to do.
Yeah.
No problem. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, thank you. Super. Wish you good luck.
Thank you so much.
Can I hug?
Thank you.
Super.